In this video, we're going to show how to set up the AudioShare drivers to be able to handle intercom paging into Control4. And to start, we've already set up a little mock project here where I've already added some rooms. And I've also set these rooms, some of the main areas of where a typical Control4 audio zones would be. For example, in the dining room, we've set it up in the living room and in the theater. And these are all using endpoints that are coming from a 4-zone amplifier in this particular example. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up the AudioShare drivers to be able to page intercom into those rooms. So to begin, what we're going to do is install our AudioShare drivers. And to do that, we just simply go over into the Search tab. And the first driver we want to pull in is the AudioShare Hub driver. And that is located under the AV switch device type because it uses the AV switch proxy. We go to the manufacturer of AudioShare, and there we have our AudioShare 16 station hub. So we'll double click on that and add it over into the project. And I'm going to name that AudioShare Hub. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is put some of the wall stations, the AudioShare wall stations, in the rooms where they would exist. So in this project, we're going to say that the AudioShare wall stations are, first of all, we're going to have one in the wiring room as the audio connectivity between the AudioShare system and the HC300 controller. So we'll click on Other, and we'll go into AudioShare, and you'll notice that there is both a wall station and a door station. So first of all, we'll install a wall station into the wiring room, and then we're going to go in the master bedroom, and we're going to add a wall station into the master bedroom, and we're going to go into the bedroom and add a wall station into the bedroom. And we also have a wall station or a doorbell. And so we'll use an AudioShare door station to go to the front door. Now that we've completed that, what we need to do is go into each one of these drivers and set their AudioShare address. Now for a door station, the AudioShare address can range between 240 and 247. Now the door stations actually have predefined locations based on the address that they are set to. So for example, an AudioShare door station that is set to address 240 is defaulting to, or is actually set to, a location of front door. Now, an address of 241, for example, would go to the back door. Now, you can look up a list of what the AudioShare door station address is and what its location name is within the AudioShare system by going to the AudioShare website at www.audioshare.net under the support section. Under install, you will see a link for an installation guide. It will be a PDF file, and you can download that, and in a section there under the door stations, there will be a section that talks about the addresses for the door station. Anyway, but because I have a front door, I'm going to leave this address at 240. Now make sure that the room ID and the room name are filled in with at least a valid number or field. An invalid number for the room ID would be 0. An invalid room name would be blank. If you see those, then we've got a driver problem. It's possible that you have an older driver and you just need to upgrade to a newer driver, or there is something wrong with your project file, or there's something wrong with your system setup. But you should see a room ID and a room name in the door station driver. Now, you should also see a status saying that it's bound to the AudioShare Hub driver. Now, if it doesn't say that, it'll probably say something like unbound. But anyway, if it does say something like that, it's probably because there isn't an AudioShare Hub driver installed in your system. So make sure you have at least one AudioShare Hub, not at least, you can only have one AudioShare Hub driver in your entire system. But make sure that there is one in the system. Anyway, so now we'll go to the wall station, and we'll set its address. Now I've set my wall station address in my bedroom to station 31, so I will set that. And then in the master bedroom, my address happens to be 25, and I will set that. And then in my wiring room, my wall station happens to be address 14, so I will set that. Notice that for every single one of these drivers, they also need to make sure their C4 room ID and their C4 room names are also valid, and also make sure that their status is bound to AudioShare Hub Driver. Okay, now that we've done that, we've basically completed the initial setup of the drivers. Now we can verify that the drivers are all configured correctly by going into the AudioShare Hub Driver, going to the Actions tab, and there's a button in here called Display Display AS Dev Info, which actually stands for AudioShare Device Info. If we click that button and go to the Lewis screen, we will see in here all of the devices that we've installed. We should see 3 wall stations, which we do, and we should see 1 door station, which we do. Notice that it fills in what its AudioShare address is in the field. It also tells us what its device ID is in Control4, what its room ID is in Control4, and what its room name is in Control4. Anyway, you should just verify that that information is in there correctly. Now that we've completed that, the last step in the initial setup is to make sure that the AudioShare Hub Driver is actually connected to the AudioShare system. You'll notice here on the status page that it says not connected. So what we need to do is go to the Connections tab, go click on Network, and in here you'll see the AudioShare Hub Driver. All we'll need to do is double click on that hub driver and enter the IP address of the hub in there. Now, if you don't know the AudioShare hub address, if you haven't already set that, you can do so by going into the AudioShare Programmer. I'm going to launch the AudioShare Programmer right now. And in here, all you need to do is go to the System Connection pull-down menu, Configure Ethernet, and in this menu or the dialog that pops up, you can see the Discover button. Click on the Discover button, and then all you need to do is push this Discover button, and it will actually search for all the audio or the Ethernet enabled AudioShare devices. So by default, all AudioShare hubs actually ship with DHCP enabled. You can override this and change it to static IP using this AudioShare Programmer Ethernet configuration tool. So just click on the AudioShare hub device that you plan on connecting Control4 to, and then in this case I've already set my static IP address on this hub, but you can override these settings by clicking this device uses the following IP address, and you can set the IP address, the subnet mask, and the default gateway. And then all you need to do is push the Commit Changes button, and that will actually commit those changes to that specific device. Now, all we need to do is then copy this IP address that we've set this to, go back to the Control4 settings, and actually enter the IP address in there at that time. Now, the last step that we need to do in setting up intercom paging is go back to the in Connections, go back to the Control AV tab, and all we need to do is click the controller and make